standing in the middle of a busy world, surrounded by noise, opinions, expectations, and endless distractions. But instead of reacting to everything, you simply observe. That is the central idea behind The Silent Observer by Wu Studios, learning to create a little distance between what happens around you and how you choose to respond. We often move through life on autopilot. Someone criticizes us, and we immediately become defensive. Something goes wrong, and frustration takes over. We compare ourselves with other people and suddenly feel as though we're falling behind. But the book invites us to consider another possibility. What if you didn't have to react to every thought, emotion, or situation the moment it appeared? Think of your mind like a busy street. Thoughts are constantly passing by like cars. Some are useful, some are distracting. Others are filled with fear, anger, regret, or worry. The problem begins when we feel that we have to chase every single one. The silent observer doesn't chase, it watches. This doesn't mean becoming cold, passive, or disconnected from life. It means becoming more aware of what's happening inside you before deciding what to do about it. For example, imagine someone says something that annoys you. Your first impulse might be to argue. Normally, you might react immediately and regret your words later. The observer takes a different approach. It notices the anger. It notices the desire to respond. And then it creates a small pause. Inside that pause is a powerful question. Do I really want to react this way? That moment of awareness can change everything. One of the most useful ideas we can take from the book is that thoughts are not automatically facts. You can think, I'm going to fail, without failure being inevitable. You can think, everyone is judging me, without actually knowing what anyone else thinks. You can feel afraid without being in danger. When you learn to observe your inner dialogue, you begin to recognize the difference between reality and the stories your mind creates about reality. And that brings us to another important theme: silence. Modern life doesn't give us much of it. From the moment we wake up, there are notifications, conversations, videos, news, music, messages, and responsibilities competing for our attention. When the outside world becomes constantly loud, it becomes difficult to hear what's happening inside us. Silence gives us room to notice. It allows us to ask, what am I feeling right now? Why am I reacting this way? Is this something I can control? And if I can't control it, how much of my energy should I give it? These questions encourage a calmer relationship with uncertainty, because much of our stress comes from trying to control things that were never completely under our control in the first place. Other people's opinions, the past, unexpected events, whether someone understands us, whether everything goes according to plan. The silent observer recognizes these realities without constantly fighting them. Instead, attention returns to what can actually be influenced: our choices, our actions, our habits, and the meaning we give to our experiences. This perspective can also change the way we deal with difficult emotions. Rather than saying, I am angry, you might notice, I'm experiencing anger. That sounds like a tiny difference, but psychologically, it's significant. The first statement makes the emotion feel like your identity. The second reminds you that the emotion is an experience, and experiences change. Fear arrives and eventually passes. Sadness arrives and eventually changes. Even excitement comes and goes. You remain the person observing these changing states. And perhaps that's the deeper lesson of the silent observer. Peace doesn't necessarily come from creating a life where nothing difficult happens. That's probably impossible. Peace comes from developing a mind that doesn't have to be controlled by everything that happens. You can participate fully in life while still maintaining an inner sense of perspective. You can care without becoming consumed. You can listen without immediately judging. You can experience emotion without allowing every emotion to make your decisions. And you can face uncertainty without demanding that the future reveal itself immediately. So the next time your mind becomes noisy, try something simple. Don't immediately fight the thought. Don't automatically believe it. Don't rush to react. Notice it. Watch it. Give yourself a moment of space. Because sometimes the strongest response isn't the fastest one. Sometimes wisdom begins quietly, with the ability to observe before you act. And when you develop that ability, the world around you may remain noisy, but inside you become a little quieter, a little clearer, and perhaps a little freer.